Do you constantly say yes to things that you want to say no to? Do you spend time with people or in situations that drain your energy, but you don't want to say no because you don't want to let people down? Are you constantly helping others while neglecting yourself? Are you doing things that drain your energy and that deplete you, but you feel that you need to do because these people that you owe these people something, that you have an obligation because they're family, because they're friends? Are you starting to feel uncomfortable around people you once felt comfortable in front of? We often people please. We often do things for others at the detriment of our own health. We're afraid to say no. We think it's rude to say no. We think it's rude if we turn down an invitation. But if you don't want to do something, if it doesn't feel good for you, if you feel anxious about it, you have every right to say no as a full sentence. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. We're constantly we've been living in this mentality that we have to do things for others, that we can't put ourselves first because it's selfish. But we need to put ourselves first. We need to fill our cups up first and then we can help others. But if we're constantly running around after other people, saying yes, 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 yes to everything, even when it doesn't make us feel good, this isn't going to help us. This is going to deplete our mental and physical well-being, and therefore we'll be no good to anyone, let alone ourselves. You know, we've been brainwashed into believing that you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this for this person, you have to do that for that person because they're family, or you've known them so long, you've got history together. But when we're on this awakening journey, we're coming to the truth within ourselves. And as empaths as well, we're very highly sensitive to energy. But as we come to the truth within ourselves, we start to see the truth of the people around us. We start to see the truth of how we lived. You know, and we lived in a very negative mentality. We lived in a very low vibration mentality, you know, maybe gossiping, maybe very lack mentality, always negative, always woe me. And as we awaken and evolve, we start to look around and see that this energy isn't what we want to embody anymore. It's not really what we truly are. It's an energy that we embodied due to conditioning and due to our family and friends. And when it comes to then trying to set boundaries, we feel guilty. We feel like, we're constantly running around after everyone else. We can't say no to people, so we're too busy to do things that we want to do because we're constantly doing the things that other people want us to do for them. And this is where it gets hard, is because as we evolve, our energy rises. So our energy is more addictive. So the people that choose not to evolve and not do the inner work start to get addicted to our energy. But they start to get selfish with it. And then they start to get bitter if you don't give it to them. And I've noticed this, I had to set so many boundaries, with people. I'll describe a few of my situations, and I've mentioned them before because I've done a video on boundaries before, because I think it's just so important, because we're afraid to let people down, but we're afraid to lose people as well. We're creatures of codependency from, obviously, when we're born, we need another human being to survive. But as we get older, we tend to latch on to people for too long for unhealthy reasons. And then it's harder to pull away, but it's harder we feel like we're letting people down. We feel like that we're doing something wrong if we choose ourselves, because that's what we've been taught. We're taught you have to do everything for everyone. You're selfish if you do anything for yourself. You cannot have me time because that's selfish. But me time is so important. Self-care is so important, because if we let our energy go, if we allow toxicity and negativity to seep out and pull out our life force energy, to suck out our life force energy, we're not good to anyone. We're not good to ourselves. And this started to happen to me. I had a wonderful group of friends, they were my soul family. And one of them had narcissistic traits, and I didn't realize this for a long time. But as I evolved and as I got more spiritually awakened, I realized I could see her negativity, her bitterness. I could feel it coming towards me. And after well over a year or two of denial, I finally saw the truth, and it wasn't making me comfortable anymore. I went from being so energized by these friends, so happy with these friends, feeling, you know, they made me feel better than I ever felt, you know, alone even. You know, they were my high, they were my life force. They actually made me feel so good. But I started to go up and I started to visit them and I started to feel shitty. I started to feel depleted. I started to feel drained. I started to feel uncomfortable. I started to feel out of place. And I saw that it was the negative energy that was coming towards me from one of those friends. And, you know, I even said to myself, like, you know, I could still go up and visit them and just don't have to be around her as much. And I was like, I can't do that. It's making me feel physically unwell. You know, like I remember the first New Year's, I was due to go up for New Year's. And, you know, that whole day, I had this pain in my tummy. I felt so unwell. And I finally listened. Like, you know, there was all these things in my head. I was like, you can't be on your own for New Year's. You can't do this. You know, you're going to let your friends down. And I was just like, but I don't feel well. And my intuition kept shouting at me that I didn't want to go. So I didn't go. And, you know, it turns out that I had trapped emotions in my tummy, and that's where the pain was coming from. But that was the first time I started to kind of set some boundaries. I started to cancel going up a few times. And I felt so guilty. You know, you feel this guilt. You feel like, oh my God, you know, even though I don't want to go because I don't feel well, I'm letting all these people down. You know, they're my friends, you know, and I don't want to say no to these events. But I had to. And then that's when I started to see that this was better for me. So I had to walk away from these people completely. I couldn't just go up there and, you know, take on the energy just so I could hang around with like 5 of them. Do you know, that kind of way? So like I decided I had to cut them off completely. And that was really hard for me. That was so hard for me because I thought these people would be my life forever because they helped me through something so hard. Like they helped me get my life back after a really toxic narcissistic relationship and another, you know, violent one. And, you know, without those people, I wouldn't be here today. But because of a change of energy, I had to put my health first. And the same then happened with my dad. I had initially set boundaries with my dad because of his negativity. You know, so when I visited, I was very short visits and, you know, I'd go see my friends. And, you know, so it would be brief interactions and we'd get on great and everything would be fine. And I'd go home and it wouldn't take me long to replenish my energy. But because of having to walk away from all those friends, because of attracting another narcissistic boss, I ended up allowing those boundaries to go away. You know, I dropped those boundaries between me and my dad, and I ended up spending way too much time with him and allowing that energy to seep back into me. And I literally went from, I went to zero. My mug shattered. I had no life force left. He sucked every bit of energy out of me. It got to a stage where I was, you know, in fear all the time, a fear-based entity attached to me. My mental health was deteriorating. My physical health my immune system was gone to shit. I was unwell and I was in constant state of fear. And, you know, I'd already been living the manifestation lifestyle. I'd already been living this high vibe energy. Such a relapse was really hard for me. And because it was a family member, it was harder for me to listen to my intuition. It was hard for me to listen to my intuition when it came to my really close friends. Hardest thing I ever had to do. I was in denial for such a long time. But I was in denial longer with my dad because he was blood. And I said this phrase over and over again. We've been led to believe that the quote is blood is thicker than water. This is not the real quote. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. This means that your chosen family will be the ones that support you to the end. But we're led to believe that we have to be a certain thing for certain people because of either history, because of what they've done for us, or because they're family. So it makes it a lot harder to set those boundaries. But if your health if your health is suffering, you have every right to say no to these people as a full sentence. You don't have to explain to yourself why you can't go somewhere, why you don't want to do something. If you're feeling anxious when somebody asks you to do something or go to somewhere, say no. You know, like I've seen this with myself and other people. They're going to these events, they're going to like family like events. And for example, years ago, before I even understood boundaries, you know, I used to go to my granny's anniversary mass once a year. And every time I'd go, I'd feel like an outcast. And my whole family would be there asking all heap of questions, kind of judging me. And I was like, look, I can pay tribute to my granny any day of the week, any moment of the day, because she's in spirit. I'm not going to go to this mass to be ridiculed and judged by these people just to pay tribute to my granny. I can pay tribute to her every day of the week. I do not need, she's with me all the time. So I chose to set the boundaries there. You don't have to go to family events. You don't have to go to certain places. If it upsets you or if it causes you pain or anxiety. And that's the thing, we feel obliged to do certain things for family events, for family in general, because they're our family. And it's just like, if it's making you feel unwell, no. Our mental and physical and emotional well-being is so important, and we can't be anything for anyone else if they're sucking our life force energy. And that's the difference with the energies. When we start to evolve, the ones that are refusing to evolve unconsciously get bitter of our high vibrational energy and want it all to themselves. So, in a way, they're trying to suck us back into this world because they're getting high on our energy. And I am not saying this in a bad way. They're not intentionally going, I want to make you weak because your energy makes me high. They don't know this is happening. But there's an unconscious bitterness within them because of your high vibrational energy. But their refusal to do the inner work makes them steal your life force energy. So when they're around you, they love it. They're high as a kite. They're getting all this energy. They're happy, happy, happy. But yet you're getting drained and depleted and anxiety, moody even, irritable. Are you feeling this way around certain people? Because this means they're draining your energy. They're sucking your life force. And as empaths, right, we do take on external energy, whether it's good or bad. So we do need that time to recharge. But there's a big difference. You're going to know if you're around people that make you feel good. You're going to know if your energy is high. You're going to know if you are happy. But you're going to start to feel your energy go down, 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 down. If you're around the wrong people, you're going to feel, as I said, depleted, lethargic, unwell, but angry, irritated, frustrated. Because you're not, you've nothing left. And I've noticed this with my dad as well. I told him before that when I'm in a low vibration energy, I need to shut down. I need to plug into the wall and I need to recharge, and I cannot actually speak. My friends used to say this before, the morning after, when we used to party, the morning after I'd go completely quiet. Quiet as a mouse, quiet. From being very loud and excitable the night before to absolutely wouldn't say a word. And my friends used to be concerned, kind of going, are you okay? Is there something wrong? And this was before I knew what energy was. Or, that I took on energy. And I look back now and I was like, that's because I was in reboot mode. I was in recharge mode. And, I explained this to my dad, but before I actually walked away, the day I walked away, or the day that I realised I had to walk away, we had another argument. That's the thing as well. When it got towards the end, when I started to realise I had to walk away, every single time that I saw my dad, we had an argument. Because my energy was fucked. And the reason being is because I had no energy left to give. And when you have no energy left to give, the energy vampire, the person that's sucking that energy, gets angry. They get bitter with you, and they get angry with you for not feeding what they need. Their addiction, in a sense. And that day, I was like, look, I can't physically speak. I've told you before I need to recharge. And he got angry with me. He got angry with me because I couldn't feed him his fucking energy, feed him my energy. It was gone. And that was the day I realised that I can't fucking do this anymore. I have nothing left to give. And after that, after actually setting boundaries, and first of all, I set boundaries. When you set boundaries with these people as well, you're going to know that these are the people you need to set boundaries with, because they will retaliate. They will make you feel guilty. They will tell you you're selfish. They were like, oh, everything I've done for you. But they will try and turn it back onto you and victimize themselves. When I told my dad I couldn't be around negative energy, he accused me of having a mental disorder. And then sent me a big list of all my past traumas and victimize themselves about them to make me feel guilty and run back, into that codependent energy. So you're going to be, that's the thing. It's hard to set those boundaries. But the minute you set a boundary with the person that's actually feeding off your energy, the person that's draining your energy, they retaliate, they don't respect those boundaries, that's the person you need to walk away from. Fuck the boundaries, cut them off. And that's what we need to start doing. We can say no as a full sentence. We can walk away from these people, no matter whether they're family, friends, or you've known them your whole life. It doesn't fucking matter. If the energy has changed, if they're taking your life force energy, if you're feeling depleted, tired, and drained, you get to walk away. Your mental health is the most important thing. But, if your mental health is fucked, your physical health is going to be fucked. You need to look after you. If these people are not respecting you, your time and your energy, if they're sucking all of it out of you, expecting you to do everything for them, and saying it's selfish if you say no, these are the people you need to set these boundaries with. Put yourself first. Say no as a full sentence. Ask yourself, is this good for me? Is this making me feel good? Is this making me feel happy? Do I feel excited about going to this place? Or does it make me feel anxious? Listen to your intuition, listen to your gut, because that will tell you if you're continuously feeling anxious when you're supposed to visit somebody or when you're around somebody. This is a sure sign that they can no longer be in your environment. You need to fill your cup back up first. It took me well over a year to heal after I cut out that toxic energy. It took me a long time to shed that fear-based entity. It took me a long time to get my health back. It took me a long time to get my mind back. It took me a long time to even get my soul back because I had gone so low. I had neglected the boundaries and let toxicity back into my life, and it absolutely I nearly lost myself completely. And to have that final argument and realize I cannot be around this energy anymore, I had to say no, and I had to block, and I had to walk away, and it saved my life to do that. It broke my heart. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do, but it's the best thing you'll ever do. You can't pursue your life purpose if these energy vampires are still pulling you back and draining your energy. It took me a long time to realize that. Why did the universe take all these people away? The universe took these people away because they were holding me back. I evolved and they stayed here. I tried to bring them with me, but as I was trying to bring them with me, I got sucked back down. And it's not my job to save them if they don't want to be saved. You know what I mean? So I had to keep going without them to pursue my life purpose so that I can help the people that do want to be saved. Because you cannot help anyone if they don't want to be helped. That's the way it is. And these people do not want to be helped. They just want to feed off your energy, feel high off that, and not do the inner work. Expect you to do all the work and then give it to them. This is not how it works. So, sorry about that. But, so look after you. If it upsets you, if it gives you anxiety, if it gives you worry, if it's draining your energy, you can walk away. You don't have to explain yourself. Say no as a full sentence. Make you a priority. Set those boundaries and walk away. Put yourself first, because you are important. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you would like help on your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I would love nothing more than to help you on your path.